Hey guys, and welcome back to Brexit Britain, a country who decided it needed to get away from itself. So Britain went down to Dover and took a long run and jumped off the white cliffs of Dover in an attempt to make it to the EU. It only made it a few feet. And also, guys, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you for all your messages that you sent me, and a special thanks here to everyone who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up, so thank you so much for that. I'll go through all the messages, I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all the messages for definite. So, today, we've got the Americans have finally opened back up so we can go and take our diseased self back over our viral selves. Our virus selves back over to the US now, because they've opened back, and apparently Virgin and British Airways are doing some big flights and all that to go back to America. I don't suppose that really means much to the working classes, because most of us has to go to work to go and start saving up for Christmas. Right, but so we've had over the weekend the same fallout over the whole Owen Patterson debacle, because there's so many different things coming out now, right? But all of these things, right? I think that everyone has known about all this time. I mean, we all know that MPs have been lobbying, but you see, with Owen Patterson, right? Obviously, there's more things have come out over the weekend, and one of the companies, right, that he was lobbying for, right, managed to get themselves a contract with the government for £480 million. Right? So you can see, right, why it is, that these people just what, don't worry, man, we'll give him like £9 grand a month. We'll just nice you up, don't worry. You can see why they can afford to do that, because that's nearly £500 million contract, right? For and obviously all based around the pandemic, because it's something to do with tests, right? That this company in Ireland got the contract for, right? Got themselves £480 million. Thank you very much. Do you know what I mean? We're gonna, of course they're gonna pay him. Do you know what I mean? That's just a small percent. That money what he's getting there is just a small percentage of what he's got coming back. Do you know what I mean? You do someone a deal for 400. You do someone a deal for 400. They're going to get nearly £500 million out of. Then I guarantee you, I can absolutely guarantee you, that you've got that person has got at least £50 million coming back to him. Guaranteed. Now, you see, he's a free agent now, so he could literally just go and work for that company now, and just get, and just get a massive salary, because he's done them a favour. So now they're going to say, you know what, don't worry, we'll look after you as well. Do you know what I mean? So so this is all of this type of stuff. I've known that this type of stuff has been going on for forever, because this is what most Tory MPs are getting up to this. Especially when you're talking about those ones who turn around and say, oh well, if they was working in the private sector, they could put in a lot more money than they would get as an MP, right? Because these guys, they believe that they're owed something, right? But you see, we've got one Labour politician, right, who. I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember what her name is, but I just heard about her the other day, right? But I do know, right, that she takes about £35,000 a year in salary, and she gives the rest. I think, to local charities in her constituency or whatever. Now you see, you can understand, that that's the type of person, right, that we need as MPs. People who just say, you know what, I'm prepared to live on the same type of money as my constituents live on, right? Because as I said, she's taking about 35 grand, out of an 82 grand salary. So every month, right, she's giving away thousands of pounds every single month. Do you know what I mean? Right now, we should have much more principles, much more MPs with those type of principles. But you see, even those type of principles, they don't get you anywhere with with these type of people. These type of people, yeah, would sooner see the Lords, right, living off socialism, because that's what the Lords do. They live off socialism. Okay, don't get none of this shit twisted. Don't ever get none of this shit twisted. But they'll say to you, "Oh, socialism is a terrible thing. Taking money from the state is a disgusting thing to do." Yeah, while trousering 300 and something pounds a day from the state. Okay, so don't ever get none of this twisted, because that is the truth, right? Most of it, especially when it comes to like these Tory politicians, yeah, the majority of them, right, are living on socialism. The majority of them, right, they're taking thousands and millions and in some cases billions of pounds off of the state. Okay, that's what these guys are doing, and they're literally just doing it in your face, right? Now, as I said, yeah. We've got a Labour politician who said, you know what, I'm not even taking half of this wage that I'm entitled to, right? And then you've got the guys who these people from the right wing are voting for, right? Who are earning, right, an extra £112,000 on top of an 82 grand salary. Yeah. So you see, the corruption in this country, yeah, the corruption is just like the corruption second to none in this country. I mean, if you just look at this other story, what's come out now, yeah, over the weekend, right? 3 million for a peerage. Do you know what I mean? But that's how these guys live. That's how these guys live, because these guys know to themselves, you know what, yeah, a peerage is worth much more than £3 million. Even though on £3 million, yeah, getting 300 and whatever pounds they get back a day, it take a long time for you to reclaim that money. Do you know what I'm saying? But then if you put £3 million into a company or whatever, right? And you was getting £300, and you was getting £300 a day back, right? That wouldn't be too much of a bad investment, really. Do you know what I mean? Because like at the end of it, if they say, well, you put 3 million in, right, we'll give you £300 a day back, right? Whenever you're ready, you could just pull your 3 million out, right? You get that back. Do you know what I mean? You've had 3 million a day for however long. You're at £300 a day for however long. Do you know what I mean? And whenever you want your 3 million, you just pull it back out. Right? That wouldn't be too much of a bad deal, to be honest, would it? Do you know what I mean? So and then obviously, once they're the Lord, they get to, they can get to like, put their name, to a lot of headed paper and all these type of things. That's why these guys are just buying up these laws, and that's what I don't understand about people who would look at the Tories and say, yeah, you know what, yeah, they're for me, right? While they're lining their pockets, right? Because that's all they're doing. They're all just lining their pockets, and they'll tell you anything so that they can continue to line their pockets. And I don't understand why it is, yeah, that you're prepared to watch them line their pockets, right, while your pockets are still empty. That I don't understand. I don't get that. I really don't get that. Right? Because you got to understand, yeah, that these guys, yeah, these guys, the majority of them, yeah, they are not racist. They just play that to you, because they know that makes you vote for them. They know that. Right? So because they know that, right, so they just keep dangling that in front of your face all the time. Right? Everything in life, everything in your life that's wrong in your life is down to immigration. It's immigrants that have done that to you. That's all they say to you. Yeah, we can see. It's shocking. Those immigrants. If those immigrants wasn't here, right, you could get a hospital appointment tomorrow. If those immigrants wasn't here, the job what you would have would be so much better. And I'm sure deep down that none of that is true. I'm sure you've got to know that none of that None of that is true. You've got to know. Right? You've got to know that they're playing you. Right? They're enriching themselves on a regular basis. Right? There's guys on fantastic holidays, living in fantastic houses. Right? More money in the bank than you could dream of. Right? But they can only do that, by getting you to vote for them. And then they can continue, to fill their pockets. Right? Make their friends into lords and talk about, oh no, they've been made a lord because they're a philanthropist. There's no philanthropist in the Tories. There's no such thing anymore. Yeah, that's once upon a time. You go around London, and you can see a lot of the estates that the philanthropists put up and things like that, or the hospitals and stuff like that they built. It's not modern. The people don't do that in modern days now. They don't do that. Right? You ain't gonna get someone who says, you know what, I've got 300 people working for me, right? So I'm gonna build a little village, right, for my 300 workers and their families, and give them all a house each, right? That type of thing is gone. It's gone from a long time ago, right? So there's no real philanthropy. That word anyway, because I have so much problem saying it, but there's a shortage of them now. But the Tories will say to you, oh no, this is why that we've given them a peerage. It's not. It's because they gave you £3 million. Right? Police are investigating it, but you know what's going to happen there, isn't it? Police is going to come back with, we've investigated the whole lot, and as far as we can see, there's nothing to see here. That's all that's going to happen with that. Do you know what I mean? Because this country, when I say to you, right, this country has the cheek to look down on other countries where they can see corruption, right? Let me tell you this, right? If one of these motherfuckers ever says anything to me about Putin again, right, I'm going to just say, you know what? Shut up. Just shut your mouth, right? Because you know what? The people who are running this country, right, are more corrupt, right, than any of. Because you know why? Because at least, right, the others try and hide the corruption. Say, well, no, they put their money in Swiss bank accounts. Right? They come to Britain and they buy, they come to Britain and they buy a house, some houses, and or they go to the art galleries, right? That's how those guys do it, right? These guys over here just like, but that was within the rules, you see. So because the rules was, well, it's not our fault. It's within the rules. It's not like we're taking our money and putting it in Swiss bank accounts, is it? They probably are as well. But my God, seriously, you've watched Boris Johnson, £50 million fall down the back of the sofa for the Garden Bridge. Right? 37 billion pounds. Do you know what, I want to explain to you, right, the difference, right, between 1 million, right, and 1 billion. I'm going to do it in seconds. Right? So 1 million seconds, is 11, 12, around 11 and a half, 12 days. I might be a bit in or out. 11 and a half, 12 days, 12 and a half days. Something like that. Right? 1 billion seconds is 32 years. Okay? That's what the difference is. Right. These guys stole 37 billion. Not million, billion. They stole from us. Okay? Right? And you know what gets me, is anybody who can vote for them, knowing that. It just shows you that Britain, the right wing is just full of thieves, scumbags and maggots. But anyway, let's speak about some Brexit, because I don't want to speak about that no more. So you realise, right, that now we are buying things from the EU, right, much more expensive, right, than we was paying before, right? I want to know what kind of Brexit bonuses, right, these are, right? When we've put up trade barriers, right, that means that our companies have to pay more money for the same stuff they was buying 2 years ago. Right? You have to wonder what kind of foolishness that is, right? And then we've got the farmers having to send the carcasses, animal carcasses, into the EU to be processed. So they slaughter them here, and then send them into the EU, and then they send them back here. Can you believe that this type of nonsense, right? I don't know, but is this honestly what the shit what you signed up for? Really, is this what you really signed up to do, right? To say, you know what, yeah, that would be a good use of money, of labour, right, and of taxes. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. It's just completely ridiculous. Just completely ridiculous. This is why the whole world is looking at Britain and just saying, you know what, those people are fucking stupid. That's what the whole world is saying about us. Sending carcasses from Britain into the EU, then back here. And I believe once they go into the EU, you can't even brand them as British anymore. Just unbelievable. Anyway, guys, look, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm the MC John Ribbs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.